Now in the third and the final section of our lecture, which is the nasal endoscopy, we will discuss the procedure of the sinus surgery. And in this we will talk about the technique used for the endoscopic sinus surgery and what are some surgical steps, and then the definitive surgical steps for the endoscopic sinus surgery. Advanced nasal endoscopic techniques. Removal of benign tumors. So in advanced nasal endoscopic techniques, only we can use this technique even to remove the benign tumors present in the nasopharynx, paranasal sinuses, and the different oropharynx also. So removal of the benign tumors. Orbital cellulitis or as orbital abscess management can also be performed by the endoscopic techniques. Dacryocystorhinostomy. Opening of the dacryostomy is the opening. So opening in the lacrimal sac or cyst, it can be performed by this procedure. So dacryocystorhinostomy. Repair of CSF leak, if can be as a result of the complication of the procedure, or it can be as a result of trauma, accident, injury, fall. Cerebrospinal fluid leaks into the nasal cavity, and that can be repaired by this procedure also. Pituitary surgery. Pituitary is the gland present in the sella turcica, so that can be operated on by this procedure. Optic nerve decompression. Decompression of the optic nerve, that is the vision nerve, and it can be decompressed using the advanced nasal endoscopy. Orbital decompression for Graves' disease. Control of posterior epistaxis if there is bleeding from the nasal cavity which is not in front or anterior, which can be easily managed by the use of the speculum. We can see the bleeding spot and it can be managed. But if there is bleeding from the posterior nasal cavity, then this nasal endoscopy procedure or technique should be used. Choanal atresia, that is another indication for advanced nasal endoscopic technique. So all these are different indications. Any removal of the benign tumor, dacryocystorhinostomy, leak repair, decompression of the orbital cavity, decompression of the optic nerve, and pituitary surgery. These are some indications for the advanced nasal endoscopic techniques. And that's the picture. You can see how they are visualizing the different structures, and then different therapeutic management can also be done. Next, anterior to posterior, which is known as Stamberger's technique. Anterior to posterior, the surgery in this proceed from the uncinate process backward to the sphenoid sinus. So from the anterior to posterior, anteriorly uncinate process on the back, the sphenoid sinus. So it goes from the uncinate process to the sphenoid sinus. Advantage of this technique is to tailor the extent of surgery to the extent of disease. Posterior to anterior, another technique which is known as Wigan's technique. Surgery starts at the sphenoid sinus from anterior to posterior. It was ending, starting from the uncinate process, ends at the sphenoid sinus. But in this posterior to anterior, the surgery starts at the sphenoid sinus from the posterior and it goes to the anterior. In this, if you see, this is the straightening of the septum. This is the septum and it's deviated and it is straightened up by the endoscope. Here we can use it for the removal of the polyps which are present here. Removal of the polyps, this is the endoscope. Then opening of the ethmoid sinuses, opening the ethmoid sinus here. And then cleaning the outflow pathway here, clearing of the outflow pathway, uncinate process removed. So these are all the different indications by which, for which the endoscopy can be tried. So surgery starts in this at the sphenoid sinus, proceed anteriorly along the base of the skull and medial orbital wall. So it starts from the sphenoid sinus along the medial orbital wall and it can access the nasal cavity, and all these procedures can be performed. Straightening of the deviated septum, polypectomy, removal of the polyps, opening of the ethmoid sinus, clearing of the outflow passages so secretions can be flowed out easily. Done in extensive polyposis or in revisional sinus surgery. Now the steps of the operation: remove plagets of cotton kept for nasal decongestion and topical anesthesia. First, topical anesthesia, we put the cotton plagets to give the anesthesia, which is the local anesthesia. We remove the cotton and first for anesthesia, then inspect the nose with 4 millimeter endoscope or do complete nasal endoscopy if not already done. So this is the first step. We should remove the cotton plates for the and put in the nasal cavity for anesthesia. Then we should inspect the nose, and then if not previously performed, we should do the complete endoscopy to completely observe the surrounding areas, to observe the nasopharynx, sinuses and the nasal cavity for the observation of any abnormality. And then if it's already performed and we know what we are supposed to do today, what the procedure needs to be performed, then just go straight for the procedure. Inject submucosally 1% lignocaine with 1:100,000 adrenaline under endoscopic control. So submucosal injection of the 1% lignocaine along with adrenaline is given. On the lateral wall near the upper end of middle turbinate. On the lateral wall just below the first injection. On the lateral wall just above the inferior turbinate. In the middle turbinate posterior aspect. and posterior aspect of nasal septum. So all these are the sites where submucosal injection is given in the ratio of 1:100,000 of lignocaine and adrenaline. So it is injected on the lateral wall near the upper end of middle turbinate, then on the lateral wall just below the first injection, then on the lateral wall just above the inferior turbinate, in the middle turbinate posterior aspect and posterior aspect of the nasal septum, submucosal injection is given on all these different areas. Here you can see this is the septum, then the uncinate process, middle turbinate and the inferior turbinate, and the injections are given on the different locations. Replace cotton plackets. Repeat injections on the opposite side if bilateral functional endoscopic sinus surgery is to be done. So, if bilateral procedure is being performed, all those sites where we give the submucosal injection of adrenaline and lidocaine or lignocaine, we should repeat it on the opposite side if the procedure need to be performed on the both sides. Medialize the middle turbinate. So medialize the middle turbinate. Identify the uncinate process and bulla ethmoidalis. If middle turbinate is large, partial or total turbinectomy needs to be performed. We are supposed to medialize the middle turbinate to bring it to the medial side. If it's too big, we need to do the partial or total turbinectomy of the middle turbinate. In case of concha bullosa, lateral lamella is removed. Definitive surgical steps. Uncinectomy, removal of the uncinate process, uncinectomy. Uncinate process is incised with sickle knife, removed with Blakesley forceps. Definitive surgical steps also identification and enlargement of maxillary ostium. If there is enlargement of the maxillary sinus ostium, then lies above the inferior turbinate and posterior to the lower third of the uncinate process. Once localized, enlarged anteriorly with a backbiting forceps, posteriorly with a through cut straight forceps. So identification and enlargement of the maxillary ostium, which lies above the inferior turbinate and posterior to the lower third of the uncinate process. Once localized, it is enlarged anteriorly with a backbiting forceps and posteriorly with a through cut straight forceps. Bullectomy, removal of the bulla ethmoidalis, penetrated with curate or Blakesley forceps and removed. Here you can see that's the bulla ethmoidalis. Removal of this bulla is the bullectomy, and it is removed with the Blakesley forceps. Avoid injury to medial orbital wall, skull base or anterior ethmoidal artery. Penetration of basal lamella and removal of posterior ethmoid cells. Basal lamella penetrated in lower and medial part with a small curate. Removed with Blakeslee forceps. Posterior ethmoid cells exenterated. Optic nerve is at risk if Onodi cells present. So these were some definitive surgical steps in which we should perform the bulectomy and penetration of basal lamella and removal of posterior ethmoid cells. Different procedures, they come under the definitive surgical steps. Then the clearance of frontal recess and frontal sinusostomy. Frontal recess cleared and frontal sinus drained. Surgery in the area of frontal recess is challenging. Sphenoidotomy, another surgical step, sphenoidotomy after the clearance of posterior ethmoid cells or after the frontal sinusotomy. Omitted if sinus is healthy, we don't go for sphenoidotomy, which is the sphenoid sinus. We perform the surgery for maxillary sinus, then frontal sinus, ethmoid sinus, and sphenoidotomy is for the sphenoid sinus. And if the sinus is healthy, we don't need to go for it. Here you can see this is the sphenoid sinus on the back. This is the bulla and uncinate process. So uncinate process, bulla, sphenoid sinus. This is the middle turbinate, and then we have the superior turbinate. Anterior wall of sphenoid sinus is removed. Pus and any material is removed which is present in the sinus. Sphenoidotomy is two ways to remove anterior sinus wall. By entering the sphenoid sinus anterior and inferior to the ethmoid cavity, and by enlarging the opening of sphenoid sinus with the Blakeslee forceps or J curate. So wall can be removed by the two ways. By entering the sphenoid sinus, this is the sphenoid sinus, anterior and inferior to the ethmoid cavity, anterior and inferior to the ethmoid cavity, and by enlarging the opening of the sinus by the forceps. Nasal packs applied if septal surgery has also been done along with the sinus surgery, or to stop any bleeding from the nasal cavity. So this was all about the topic, which is nasal endoscopy, and we talked in detail about the nasal endoscopy procedure, and then indications, contraindications. Then we talked about the endoscopic sinus surgery, indications, contraindications, some major complications, minor complications, and then we talked about the steps of the procedure in detail. So that concludes our today's topic. Thank you for watching sqadia.com.